I got you, people. So you know, I recently started making some videos again, really because people's comment inspired me to do other videos or take another comment and put what I think, my opinion, right? Because everybody out here, all they're doing is bringing their opinion or what little research they did and they know and they got some understanding or some input. But it's not to take it seriously, because now I got a lot of few viewers out there that think that my videos are directed towards them and they're getting upset. I said, so as you getting upset, why don't you leave your comment down so maybe everybody could see it, read it, and maybe they agree with you or not, and have an opinion, and we all could have a dialogue, a conversation that we probably could all agree. But what most people don't understand, that not everybody's gonna agree with your views, right? Your ideas, with your opinion, the way you see things. Everybody sees things differently. So I'm making videos and this person thinks that my videos are directed towards them, and generally speaking, right? I'm talking generally speaking, and they take it that it's directly to them because they see the video and I use words, right? When I say, you know, when I talk about general, right, things, and I talk about man or woman, I'm talking about not just man and woman, it's everything that goes on. You know, this is a general statement. And when I call somebody out, it's to let them know that I read the message and I'm responding to their statement or their opinion. And just because you don't agree and how I responded, you know, doesn't mean that I despise you, I don't like you, or I envy you. No. I try to have a conversation so you can relate to it or relate to me back and, you know, have a discussion on the topic. But for people to get upset because they don't like what they hear on the video is out-bothering to me, and it's outrageous that you don't have the understanding and how to relate to others. That means you cannot go out in the world and relate to other people because you get upset and throw a tantrum and create things worse for you. If you don't fit into society, you don't want to adapt to the changes that the world is coming with, you're gonna have problem navigating this complex world. It's getting complex as we speak, and as we live in each and every day, it's get complex. So you're gonna be out there complaining and be all the time about it. You're gonna get left behind, and nobody has time to pick people up. Right now, people are struggling to make ends meet, to worry about a person that's crying, about a platform that is there for entertainment. YouTube is not to take serious, it's for entertainment. I always encourage people to open a channel and speak, because some people might be, you know, in the same situation that you are and might relate to you, but not everybody's on the same situation. Like myself, people think that I'm full of S, a B, whatever you want to go, S or B, and that I've been through a lot and I struggle and I know where I gotta stand to continue to keep myself at peace, right? So I don't let nobody interfere with my peace. So I don't care that you think that I'm wrong, that I'm better, or I'm mad at somebody. No, I used to be like that. When I was young, I always say this when I'm on YouTube. When I was young, I was just like the way you think. I was bitter, I was angry, I blame everything on the world. No, it's not the world. It's that you yourself are confused and you didn't have guidance to keep forward. Nobody was there to guide you and help you relax. So I'm telling you, you gotta relax your ways, and life doesn't go your way. Everything you think, everybody thinks about a dream, things that they want in the future, right? But it doesn't work like that. Words are cheap. Dreams is just a dream. It's not reality. You gotta get out there and make this thing happen. Make your dreams become a reality. You know, you can't kick cans and blame it on other people, and blaming the white man, blaming the black folks, blaming the Hispanics, blaming the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the Africans, the Jews, the Russians. No, it's your life and you decide how you want to get forward. If you're gonna complain because something got rejected that you try to get to and you was rejected, and you're gonna cry and bitch about it, that's your own fault. You know, try to find out what was wrong and correct it and apply again and try to succeed. Or if you don't make it there, there's all kinds of ways to get ahead, people. You don't have to try to drill somebody that doesn't accept you to accept you, you know? Either you don't qualify, they don't need you, or your attitude is not gonna work for them, for their business, you know? And this time of day, you know, business gotta protect themselves. There's people that got, you know, an explosive mind. They're combative. They don't know how to have a conversation. They don't know how to calm things down. That's why when you got managers, they call them managers because they have supposedly have more experience to diffuse whatever problem is there, right? You don't keep on arguing with customers and people like that, because no, it gives a bad reflection to the company, and the one that gets sued is the company owners. That's why you got to control yourself. You know, when I was young, I had that same problem. I used to get ticked off for anything. I didn't want to answer questions. I don't want to hear it. You know, I just wanted things to happen, and that's it. I didn't want to hear, you know, excuses. Like, you know, I'm the one making the excuses. You know, they're telling me how to do it, and I'm fighting what they're telling me to do. It's like I couldn't follow orders. Even as I was told specifically to do something, I would not do it, or I'll forget, or I will have an excuse why I didn't do it. That's a problem. You cannot have excuse in your own life, in your personal life, to do something. Somebody's guiding you to follow certain rules. You gotta follow these rules. You know, you don't make any changes. You don't put your own will on somebody because you're not in that position. When you get in that position of giving orders and directing people, that's when you can do it. But right now, if you need something, you gotta ask somebody else that already has it, that could approve it for you to have it. If you understand what I'm saying, you know, you can't be bitching about the world and thinking about the other people, why they gotta know. You should be trying to figure out if they have it and they can do it, I can do it. That's it. Instead of bitching about it, oh, they don't want to let me do it because of me, because of my color, my race, the way I speak. No. Me, when I go to place, I speak the way I'm speaking right now. You know, usually I speak too loud. And sometimes I forget because I'll be trying to tell people, you see me that I'm getting too loud or too agitated because I got a condition, you let me know so I could tone my voice down, because some people think that I'm getting loud and getting too aggressive. No, because I get like that, you know, I'm too hypertension or whatever. So sometimes I try to tone my voice and speak, and I always try to, you know, trying to do my best to explain. As you see that I have difficulty saying words because my where I come from, my bilingual status, I never perfected neither English or Spanish. You know, I could read, right? I could read Spanish, but I can't write it. So, you know, there's a lot of difficulties that I have, but I do could communicate. Somebody write me in Spanish, I could write, I could read it, but I can't write it. But, you know, I always figure out to get things done. I don't complain about it and try to ask somebody else if I need the help. Yes, it's important that you ask. You got to get the right information to guide you, but you have to learn how to be smart. That's what I always say. People that got knowledge is the difference between intelligence. An intelligent person, if you're an intelligent person, you will solve the problem. But if you have all the knowledge, you're not going to get by because you're going to get angry. You're going to think just because you read it, it's the right way. Just because you read something, that don't mean that it's just facts you think. That's why I'm telling you people that don't take nothing serious on YouTube. But anyway, I just want to let this person know that I'm not angry at you or anybody in general that think that I'm angry because I'm making these videos. No, this is for everybody to have a dialogue and have conversation and express their opinion. That's why if you read my statement on my profile, I said that everybody could come in and express themselves, and I will not delete anything you write on my comments because I want everybody to read it and I want everybody to interact. I will never delete anybody's comments. That's why I made the channel for, so other people that can express themselves here. Like, everybody's not outspoken, right? Not everybody speaks the way you expect them to speak, like English. And English is an English-speaking European language. The way we speak here in America is a slang English, right? So there's no such thing as a white America, a white American. You look at an African, they got all kinds of things. Black American, Asian American, Pacific American, Native American, and whites don't call themselves white Americans. Always white Caucasian, right? But what's the thing? Everybody here is an immigrant. So I don't understand why everybody's fighting, you know. I understand that things go wrong and you feel, because I feel that way. You know, when I go to buy, I see these, like, you know who belongs or who don't belong. Come in with a shopping full of steak and you buy donuts and chips because you can afford it. You know, it makes me laugh because that's not their fault. It's not the immigrants' fault that our government gave them all these benefits and they go shopping for free when you out here working 9 to 5 every day. You know, they didn't let them so in. The system had let them in. You know, it's not their fault. And all these Central America, North America, you know, they've been here way before anybody would see us. So if you white and you're European, you don't belong here. You came on the Mayflower. You more immigrant than anybody else out here. So if they ask you where you come from, you probably could say, yeah, I'm an immigrant just like everybody else. And then you ask them where you came from. You should be asking your questions. Where you, who gave you permission to come? Nobody, right? They came here on their own free will and forcibly took control of the country. So the only person here, immigrant, is the same person that's trying to get other people out of this country. Anyway, people, with that, I'll let you go when you think about that. Don't take this platform seriously. With that, relax, have peace in your mind, and take care of yourself first and stop thinking about, in general, you know, what's going on. And with that, I'll let you go when you think about that.